Hello, everyone, in new episode of Marwa Khalid Podcast. I hope everyone is listening to me right now or watching this podcast through any of the platforms is okay, healthy, and having all they hope to see in their lives and trying to heal and try to pick themselves up and start again. In this episode, we shed the light on very important subject, which is the importance of science and technology in the future of Sudan. All of us know that Sudan right now is going through a very critical, challenging time. That's why investing on knowledge, research, and technological solution is a necessity, is no longer a luxury for the future, for the recovery, for solutions for Sudan, for stability and sustainable development. So, today, to talk more about this issue and to try to address it and maybe try to know and learn more about it, we will have with us Dr. Salih Abdelgadir, Head of Science Unit at UNESCO Sudan. Hello and welcome in Marwa Khalid Podcast.
Hello, Marwan. It's always great privilege to be hosted by you, and thank you very much for the opportunity to highlight the challenges of the science sector and scientists as the result of conflict. Thank you very
And
much.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Abdelgadir, for being here today. Of course, you and me shared a very long history of collaboration through different platforms. So I'm honored to have you again in my new program, Marwa Khalid Podcast. And I'm happy also to have UNESCO as a part of this program because through the time, I know that the cooperation between the two between media and UNESCO, and as UNESCO is covering also media as a part of what they address and do in Sudan or maybe in general. So I'm happy to do this today and to start this episode or maybe for future more cooperation, inshallah.
Inshallah, looking forward. And thank you very much for hosting me again.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abdelgader. So start by you said a very important word right now when I was introducing you. You said challenging. We know that right now you are working in a very hard time in Sudan and very critical, period for Sudan. And I know that it won't be easy to do the normal mission that you used to do in the past, or maybe the normal things that you address or maybe you cover through your work. So how UNESCO and maybe science department managed to work in this and maybe fill all the needs that the community need in this critical time that Sudan face?
Well, I mean, yes, it is maybe the most challenging time for Sudan, and UNESCO has been there before the conflict and continues to be supporting Sudan even after the eruption of the conflict. And we, firstly, at the start of the conflict, we thought of the safety of our staff and relocation to safe states and outside Sudan, but still being operational. We at the natural sciences sector at UNESCO office in Sudan, we have been working heavily since April or May 2023 in several activities, including supporting the water sector and emergency work part of the water sector, and we been part of training young professionals, being part of assessments of needs, water sector needs, or freshwater
Mm-hmm.
needs. At the time of conflict in several states, in particular in Eastern Sudan and in Jazeera state also. And we managed to work very well with the Minister of Irrigation Water Resources at that time. Now it's changed to the Minister of Agriculture and Irrigation in Sudan. We
Mm-hmm.
developed two proposals for addressing freshwater access challenges in Sudan uh, because of the conflict. And these proposals were endorsed. We were active in developing policy briefs. We were active in speaking to the young water professionals and motivating them to have a role in addressing access to water challenges. And for example, one of the young water professionals associations, they were
Mm-hmm.
given an award to build a solar powered desalination plant in Port Sudan. As
Of course, by the way, Port Sudan need that badly right now, and I'm glad that. Of course, I'm not glad of the war, but I'm glad that many Sudanese are put in the situation that actually they know that there is a problem because Port Sudan had been challenged with or have this challenge of water, those like water for drink and all the other stuff. It always salty water, so there is no solutions for this for a long time. So I'm glad that finally people start to be aware of this.
Yes, I mean, we're working too much with partners and trying to promote even the concept of integrated water resource management with all the stakeholders in Port Sudan. Port Sudan has been
Mm-hmm.
facing tremendous water shortages
Mm-hmm.
problem with desalination technology being very expensive and difficult to operate, and also water harvesting has not been realized in full, and groundwater resources are not being fully utilized very well, and still there are some challenges which increased because of the conflict as Port Sudan becoming the capital, but not only in Port Sudan, in all other
Areas.
cities and states in Sudan, there were access to water challenges, and we were trying to promote the concept of integrated water resource management, capacity development, and also promoting stakeholders coordination in order to address the challenges in this very difficult time. And not only on the water sector, even on the agriculture sector, we were cooperating with the Agricultural Research Corporation. We organized health and safety training for
Yeah.
agricultural experts to
Mm-hmm.
promote them to work on the field with farmers and contribute to reducing the impact of war on food security. We were also currently we are assessing the impact of war on the science, technology, and innovation system in Sudan, expecting an assessment report and a recovery
Mm-hmm.
plan for the science, technology, and innovation system in Sudan by December 2025. This will lead the recovery work of the science system. Also, we were
Mm-hmm.
we had cooperation with the Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research in proposed scientific proposal writing training, and we are thinking also for
Mm-hmm.
a national science, technology, and innovation forum for all the Sudanese scientists inside and outside Sudan to discuss together the challenges. We have a very active
Uh,
action.
it's very important, by the way. This connection is very important because I remember I had this episode, I think episode 3, that where I talk about the global expertise and how they should connect. And I know that many initiatives start. I don't know if UNESCO is a part of this, but I know that scientists around the world, Sudanese scientists, are now connected through websites. through groups to talk about how they can actually address the problem in Sudan, including agriculture, including water, including other sectors like not just the technological sectors, like how they can support, how can they find solutions, and how they can provide donation, by the way.
Certainly, and many of the Sudanese scientists and experts who left Sudan because of the conflict managed even some of them to find jobs in universities and research centers outside Sudan. Even before the conflict, there is strong connection with Sudanese scientists outside Sudan who are in
Mhm.
prestigious universities and research centers. And the focus of Sudan has, considering it's a developing country, has not been, bad. Sudan since 1973 has been thinking of science, technology, and innovation. We were UNESCO based on a request from Sudan in 2009. UNESCO supported Sudan in developing a science, technology,
Mhm.
and innovation policy that target the promotion of science, culture, and awareness, and knowledge society, and even
That's fantastic.
considering
That's fantastic.
science and research in all
Mhm.
ways of life, even on public expenditures, to become as 1%, to ensure all decisions are based on scientific based.
This is amazing. This is amazing, Dr. Abdelgadir, and I'm glad that there is many works that been done through the history, and until now, the organization is active on helping Sudan, even by updating the ways of how to address and help the Sudanese people according to the challenging time. And as I said in the beginning, knowledge and research and technological solution is no longer a luxury. It's a necessity for the recovery and the stability of Sudan. So as we are today, I know that 8th of November already passed, but first of all, today we are happy to celebrate with you the day of science and technology around the world. I know now the people are celebrating, and I had the honor, by the way, in the past to celebrate this day with you. And we had many guests, Sudanese guests, that I'm so proud of them, that they did many great things for Sudan. So, first of all, happy Science and Technology Day. And also, how is that? How this day is addressed or maybe looked at in UNESCO Sudan, or maybe you as head of science unit in UNESCO Sudan.
Thank you very much, Marwa. It's the World Science Day for Peace and Development, so it reflects science
Yeah.
and its relation with peace and development, which is very relevant to Sudan nowadays, with the impact of war
Mm-hmm.
reaching to 124 universities out of 162 universities, and affecting nearly 1 million students and 25,000 faculty members. We have been marking the World Science Day for Peace and Development several times with the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research. We had the privilege to have you previously in supporting the International Day for Women and Girls in Science, which is also very important and very relevant, as women scientists have been the most vulnerable, and here has been the
Yeah.
focus of UNESCO to link with women scientists and try to, by whatever way possible, support them to be involved with the international women scientists community,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, also trying to promote UNESCO scholarships and opportunities for women scientists to reach to Sudanese women scientists. UNESCO Cairo office established the Arab Women in Science platform that mainly focus on
Mm-hmm.
supporting Sudanese women scientists, considering the impact of conflict. And so it's uh, very important day, the World Science Day for Peace and Development. UNESCO is also part of mandate in supporting member states toward peace and development. We have
Mm-hmm.
in the science sector several programs, international programs that we are operating in Sudan before and after the conflict, including the International Hydrological Program, and World Water Assessment Program, the Disaster Risk Reduction Program, the Basic Sciences Program, and Man and Biosphere Program for protected areas, and we have also a special, I mean, decade activities. We are UNESCO is
Yeah, that will be actually my next question to you, because what you said is very rich. And first of all, I want to shout out to all the women and girls who are in science. And I'm also, by the way, a scientist, so I'm a science major, so I am a part of what is this day means. And I know that I have many of my colleagues who did so much in their careers and try to help. And by the way, in Sudan right now, they are trying to provide solutions. So shout out to them all who are trying to help with, I know, with the lack of all the support. Yeah, and they don't have all the means they need, but they are working and they are trying to do something for Sudan. And also, shout out to our winners before in the past, Dr. Maha Dahawi and Dr. Dua Ali, on the great work they did in the past, and they win the L'Oreal UNESCO. Just for the people to know that it's international awards that two Sudanese won in the same year. So I'm so proud of all the women and girls, and not just in the war, but in all times. So I just want to say that before we continue to our next question, which is, you said a lot of examples of the importance of science and technology and what the UNESCO doing right now. So can you give us just one example of a project that actually is going right now and you can see a result for it, and it's contributing right now in helping and developing any sector of the sectors you mentioned that include science right now?
yes, currently, as mentioned earlier, we are UNESCO in partnership with the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research. We are
Mm-hmm.
assessing the impact of war on the science, technology, and innovation system since nearly few months, since April or March this year. And by December, we expect to have an assessment report and recovery plan that will
Great.
guide recovery actions for the science system in Sudan.
That's fantastic. And I know that this is might be my last question, but I know that you said in the beginning the connection with the scientists outside Sudan, and right now you are planning to connect and try to find solutions on how you can help Sudan and try to find solutions to this. So is any initiatives that start practically beside maybe like creating maybe a website, doing how are you connected right now? Can you just tell us more about this, because I know many scientists are watching and they want to connect as well, so I'm trying to give them like please listen today because you might have a solution to this.
Yes, UNESCO since April 2025 endorsed emergency program for Sudan that focuses on supporting displaced Sudanese scientists, not only the ones outside Sudan before the conflict, but even the ones who
Mm-hmm.
are in need and outside Sudan. We are trying to uh, work on the challenges of funding and to implement real programs that support Sudanese scientists and enable them to be active in planning and implementation and capacity development for the recovery of Sudan on post-conflict. So this action plan is endorsed by all member states of UNESCO, and it
That's great.
has one of its key activities is to support Sudanese displaced scientists. So we are uh, uh, considering full support uh, for Sudanese scientists as priority for the recovery of Sudan. And so we are uh, uh, looking at a major level to support Sudanese scientists affected by the conflict.
And what about now, as you are working from Sudan and you are seeing the challenges and you are part of international organization and a UN organization? What do you think the role of other maybe NGOs or other organization or initiative around the world, how they can play a part in helping right now? Maybe support not just UNESCO in Sudan, maybe the science and technology and innovation, sectors here in Sudan, how they can play a part. Just if you can give us something brief about this.
Very important that donors and other organizations consider scientists not only as development, but rather humanitarian when we support scientists who some of them are experts in water, fresh water, in medicine, in disasters, in fields relevant to addressing humanitarian needs during conflict. We are addressing humanitarian problems. So we should consider scientists are as very important part of the community that when we support others because they will be available to plan, will be available to do capacity development, available to do research that will ensure the best decisions are made.
That's fantastic. So, Dr. Saleh, I know that you have a final statement that you want to read from the representative in Sudan. So, the mic is yours to read this statement because we are heading to the final of the episode. So, please, just I know that he will greet us on the national, the Day of Science and Development Day. So, the mic is yours.
Thank you very much, Marwa. This is a message from the Director General of UNESCO on the occasion of the World Science Day for Peace and Development, 10th of
Yeah.
November. Science offers concrete solutions to the greatest challenges of our time: climate disruption, pandemics, resource scarcity, and growing inequalities. It is a common good, a universal language capable of bringing us together beyond borders and differences, linking knowledge to the pursuit of the collective good. Yet, in a world faced with widespread misinformation and distrust, we must come together to ensure that science is not reduced to a mere commodity or a political instrument. Science must instead be guided by ethics and solidarity, serving the common good. It is this spirit that we celebrate World Science Day for Peace and Development under the theme Trust, Transformation, and Tomorrow, the science we need for 2050. Trust cannot be divided or decreed. It must be built. It grows through open and sustained dialogue between researchers, policymakers, private actors, and citizens alike. Rebuilding trust in science lies at the heart of UNESCO's 2021 recommendation on open science, which calls for a global commitment to transparency, participation, accessibility. Through this recommendation, we can renew trust in science and ensure that it benefits all. But to produce the science of tomorrow, we must unlearn certain habits. We must move beyond silos, refusing to privilege certain forms of knowledge over others, or to confuse innovation with accumulation. Instead, we must relearn how to diversify, share, collaborate, and listen. This means listening to researchers, but also to local and indigenous people whose insights and traditions enrich the collective understanding of our world. Only through active public participation can science truly serve everyone. To mark this year's World Science Day, UNESCO is proud to publish a landmark anthology tracing 80 years of science at UNESCO between 1948 and today. It retraces the evolution of international scientific cooperation and diplomacy, the creation of leading institutions such as CERN and SESAME, the establishment of the Intergovernmental Hydrological Program, and the development of global ethical frameworks on bioethics, artificial intelligence, and neurotechnology. As part of International Decade of Sciences for Sustainable Development 2024-2033, UNESCO is deepening this commitment by breaking down barriers in research, stimulating international cooperation, and strengthening academic networks, and ensuring that science informs public policy at every level. On this World Science Day for Peace and Development, UNESCO reaffirms its conviction that open, inclusive, and ethical science designed for the collective good is the cornerstone of lasting peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for this amazing statements, and actually, I took something from it, which is the use of science in peace and development. When he said that we need to focus on this, and we need to focus on how we can use science to develop countries, and how we can work together. And as the Secretary General of the UN said, that the only flag that united is the United Nations flag. So I need to echo what he said in this matter, especially as a Sudanese. We need the world to collaborate with everyone who could learn. If we all use the science or for the better good, the world will be a better place, and everything will be better. Everything start by knowledge, and then we could build on that for good, for recovery, for stability, not just for us in Sudan, but for all the world. And maybe we can have peace around the world. Yes, it might be a myth, but we can, if we determine something, we can have it. So thank you so much, Dr. Abdelgadir, for this episode. And thank you for being today with me in this program. And yeah, if you want to say final thing for us before we end this.
Thank you very much, Marwa, for hosting me today. And thank you for being not only a journalist, but also a scientist and campaigning with us to support Sudanese scientists.
Of course. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Podcast. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abdelgadir. And for all the people who are listening to us, I hope this episode was informative and you learn more about the importance of science and technology and importance of innovation in the future of our countries, not just in Sudan, but around the world, because it's the main, it's the only way, it's a necessity for recovery, stability, and sustainable development. So I thank you again for being a loyal audience to this podcast, and see you next time. Goodbye.